Hello, my name is Diana Garcia. I'm going to talk to you about learning strategies and learning styles. I think in some point of our careers, we forget about this. And for me, it was very important because I'm designing a new way of teaching or a new method to apply in my class. And when I started, I was so happy with it. After reading these chapters, I realized that I was now working with multiple intelligences and different learning styles. There were like a lot of things that I didn't take into account. So my comic is related to my experience in a way. Yes. Okay, my comic is about two teachers that are talking, and one of the teachers is really worried because he thinks that his students are not learning. And there's a teacher, which is Miss Lucy. She is really kind, and she's willing to help him. So he asks, like, why? What is the problem? What's happening? What is happening? And the teacher says that he explained the topic to students. He asked the students to read the book and to answer the book. But later on, when he asked about like these activities, students do not remember anything. So Miss Lucy kind of understands the problem. She starts explaining that we have different students and students have different learning styles. Well, we have like multiple intelligences. So the teacher starts like doubting, like he's not sure what Miss Lucy is talking about. So he's like, different learning styles, like what's that? So Miss Lucy starts explaining, and she said like, whoa, some of the learning styles that you may have is like auditory. You have students like this, and then the teacher kind of get these like glimpse or light or no, and he's like auditory. Then he remembers like, oh, you mean they like listening or speaking? Yes, that's the way they learn. And Ms. Lu said yes. And she presents another example, which are students that are visual. And then the teacher says, okay, the ones that need visual means to learn, like videos or things like that, that they can connect with their sight. Then another example that she presents is students that are extroverted, the ones that, as the teacher said later, the ones that like social activities. And then he remembers or kind of makes a relation. If there's like extroverted, we're going to have introverted, the ones that likes to work on their own. Yes. So Miss Lucy says like, yes, students are different and they need different strategies or methods or even activities. Then the teacher kind of feels better, says like, thanks, you helped me a lot. We have a lot of students, as the chapter mentions. There are like um, multiple intelligences, and we have that in our students. We have students that are kinesthetic, like they need to act. One thing that I thought it was really important in one of the chapters that I read, I don't remember, it was for a previous course, but it was like um, we sometimes force our students. Yes, we give them like activities that they do not like and they do not keep in mind. And sometimes we work with only two intelligences instead of working with all of them. So we are always leaving, or most of the time, we're leaving students like aside. We need to know our students, and we, even though we don't know them, we need to plan activities for all of them. Yes, activities that if they are like kinesthetic, don't tell them like, okay, complete this exercise about sports. fill in the blanks. If it is a student that likes sports, well, ask that student to go have those, like, go and play basketball for 10 minutes or something, and then ask him to come and tell about his experience. It's going to be better for them because they're going to keep that in mind. So we need to work with different intelligences. So this teacher was like, okay, I got it. It's great. Now I know what to do. But Miss Lucy says, wait, that is not all. Like, there's something else. Then the teacher freaks out. Like, what? I already have to work with multiple intelligences. Like, what else? And then Miss Lucy laughed. And then she explains, well, besides learning styles, there are other factors you must consider. And the teacher is like, oh my, like the kind of reaction we have, yes, when that like just um, get to us. So he starts asking like, what else? And then Miss Lucy, like, there are like some other things that you need to consider, like culture, gender, and age, which are also really important. Then we have the teacher crying and he's lost. He just went like far away from school. That's what I do. When something happens to me, I kind of try to go away. So that's what he, in his mind, according to what I have here, that's what he did. He said, like, I'm lost. And then Miss Lucy says, I know how you feel. Sometimes I feel out of place too. And then she starts explaining. Okay, culture has a lot to do with language strategies. I mean, learning strategies, sorry. For example, if the student's education was based on imitation, that student will be successful in this area. Activities that had to do with, I don't know, recreate something or do something like someone else did before, something like that, those students are going to be good at that. Then the teacher kind of paraphrases that and he presents another example. He says, oh, so if students' culture use memorization, as the chapter says the students will develop this strategy more than others. Of course, like for example, I remember that when I was studying, I had to memorize a lot of information. And for me, memorization was good at that time, but it was good at the moment of presenting exams. After that, everything went black, and I had no idea on what to do next. And that reminds me about something else that other chapters said. Like we have short-term memory and long-term memory. So everything goes to short-term, but we need to find a relation or something important so we can connect, and then we're going to create this vivid memory that can pass to long-term, and we don't forget. Okay, and then Miss Lucy says, exactly. Now, the issue with gender is similar. Yes, now we have something with culture and we do have something with gender. For him, it's kind of crazy. Like, what is the difference? We have students, maybe like we might think not exactly the gender, maybe age, but there's actually a really good issue and I didn't consider before this part. Says like, I know it's difficult to believe. We have females look for social approval. For me, it was new, and it is true, we do. As a teacher, I do look for social approval. I love to participate whenever there's something to do, like in a meeting or anything, and I want to participate and everything. because I love to be recognized. Then it says females are more interesting on social activities. Well, maybe majority. I'm not so into that. But it's good to know that because I know that I can try something like that with my students. And then she says females are less competitive and more cooperative. It's true. According to my experience, that is true. Says all this was according to what Oxford Cross and Kalani found. I think that reference, well, I use it because whenever you talk about like all these good things about women, they're going to say, okay, because you are a woman. No, it's because they research, they had some studies about it, and that's what they found out. And then we have the teacher. It says, a lot of good things about women. You see, that's why we needed that reference. It's not me saying it, it's history, or our background, or people that study this issue. And then she says, like, whoa, finally we have age. As students grow older, their learning strategies will get better. Of course, you get more mature. You start like kind of modeling things. And then as a conclusion, I had this. Miss Lucy, as it says here, Miss Lucy had to go back to her class, and Daniel, the teacher, starts like putting things together. All the information that he got, he's like trying to understand it. Yes. So he starts like, well, now I know the problem. I know that I have to work with the multiple intelligence my students have. Now he recognized that as different students with different learning styles, and we have different multiple intelligence that we must cover. And then he says, I know that culture, age, and gender may influence learning strategies. Yes. Now he understands that that's an opportunity area that we must cover, or he must cover in this case. And then I have like something fun that says, I still think she lied about all the all she said about women. Yes, because it was like a lot of good things for me about women. I have here the reference and the end of my comic. I hope you like it. I learned a lot from this one, and it helped me a lot because all the activities that I have planned, I could modify them and look for these kind of things. Thank you so much.